Calibration no longer required, and welcome to another watch along with Charfox. That's me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna jump right into this. We have a World of Remnant video. Third one, called Grimm. Alright, so let's get to it, starting now.
The creatures of Grimm. A ravenous, destructive force that covers the majority of Remnant. While often referred to simply as Grimm in the common vernacular, these beings serve as the greatest foe to mankind. For as long as humanity can recall walking the surface of Remnant, so do they remember this wicked force. Many ancient cultures believed the creatures of Grimm to be animals possessed by evil spirits, or perhaps the spirits of tortured animals themselves. However, further study, as well as the discovery of newer, more horrific forms of Grimm, does not support this hypothesis. With new creatures discovered every day, scientists perpetually find themselves with more questions than answers. While very little is known of their origin, some key facts have been observed in the wild. First and foremost, the Grimm exclusively attack humans and their creations. While occasional skirmishes between wildlife and Grimm have occurred, these instances appear to be based on territorial provocations rather than a need for sustenance. In fact, the common belief is that the Grimm are not obligated to feed. They choose to. What is perhaps even more unsettling is the basis of their attraction. The creatures of Grimm are lured towards negative emotion. In the rare instances when villages are capable of defending against a wave of Grimm, their survival is not guaranteed, as widespread panic will only lead to more attacks. Little else is known about the creatures of Grimm. Keeping them in captivity has proven to be an understandably difficult task, as the creatures tend to either die or kill those who imprisoned them in the first place. To further complicate study, the corpse of a Grimm will only remain for a short period of time before completely evaporating. Those who hunt the beasts for sport find this particularly upsetting, but manage to get by with cheap taxidermic recreations and bombastic storytelling. Although the creatures of Grimm appear mindless, more delicate observation has proven contradictory. It has been noted that while younger Grimm tend to be more reckless, older Grimm, who have managed to survive their battles, have the tendency to learn from their experience and will exercise caution in the future. This perverse form of self-preservation allows the creatures to become more effective killers. And in the end, killing is all that matters.
Very interesting. Very interesting. No splitting this video, it's too short. We're just gonna do it all in one package. Here we go. So the creatures of Grimm have been since the beginning of time, and as we are aware, they're attracted to panic, fear, any negative emotions. Bring them closer to these emotions. That's why the high concentration of Grimm is cause for concern that there might be some evil brewing in these areas. Now, it's very hard to capture them. Once they are defeated, they usually disintegrate and evaporate into the wind. They become dust. So studying the creatures has proven difficult because there's no testing that can be done. No autopsies, autopsies, uh, autopsies. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Uh, autopsies. Well, whatever. I'm not saying it right, but the examination you perform on a corpse to determine the cause of death, but also to help you understand the organism that you're studying. Um, so they can't really get a biological grasp on the creatures, and the creatures attack. They sometimes feed, but they just do it just because they suspect that it's not necessary for them to survive to feed. This raises questions. It says that the young Grimms, they have apparently an age cycle. You have the young Grimms that are reckless and just carry out whatever. And as they get older, their body transforms, they become seasoned, they become experienced, they become higher level creatures, both apparently mentally and physically as well, since the uh, the example they were giving was a Beowulf, which was the young version, and then the elder version, which had more spikes and more armor on its body to help protect it from melee attacks. So it would appear that Grimm have a life cycle of sorts, or at least it's the general understanding that they have this sequence of life where you have your younger versions and then they start evolving into something more fearsome because it's learning, it's growing from all the battles that it's endured. Um, is it on a time based situation? I'm not sure yet. I don't have that information at hand. Um, do they evolve immediately after a combat? I don't know. Do they transform into other creatures? Again, I don't know. I'm thinking back at the episode in which Ublik and Ruby were spying on the Grimm that apparently have been living for a very long time. That looks a lot like mammoths or elephants that we're following. They're staying close to the city, but they're not attacking because they know they are seasoned, they are aware, they know that attacking humans will bring more humans and that it will keep on escalating against them. So they're sticking around, waiting for an opportunity. So the creatures are smart in terms of survival instinct. I don't consider them at this point to be strategically smart in which they can organize themselves. It was clear that they're following a pattern. The elephants or the mammoths, they were following a pattern, but it's basic animal instinct. It seemed like they were just part of a herd. They were just a group that they saw their similarities. They understand they were born together of sorts, and they stick together to ensure their survival. Just like any pack of animals, when you think about it. So they have animal instincts, but they don't have biological animal requirements. They don't need to feed off of humans, and they seem to only attack humans, and they're drawn to human emotions, negative ones. And they've been in the world since the beginning of time. At this point, premature theories tell me that they appear to be the equalizer of nature, to the point where there is ill intent and chaos and disorder and hate and anger and despair and agony and all these negative things. They are drawn to these emotions. And since humans are, as far as I'm concerned so far, the only animal that has the capability to reason, to think, to be aware, to be self-aware, and has the free will to choose and to decide, it is possible that because of this they are being targeted as the main prey of the Grimm. Um, I don't know how to explain it. Animals know. Like a dog knows when the owner is home. They hear the noise, they hear the keys, they hear the door closing, they might hear the car out in the street, and the dog knows. I hear that noise, and usually my master comes. There he is. And, it goes back to the Schneider's bell, where, he rings the bell before he gives his dog a treat. And all these experiments of social behavior adaptation for animals. And eventually the animal got so accustomed to knowing that whenever the bell rings, here comes a treat, that when you would ring the bell, the dog would start salivating and start craving the treat and be happy and excited because he knew that the treat was coming. Even though the treat never came at certain points, every time that bell rang, the dog reacted to it, you know? And it's these things where animals know, they are aware, but what makes them different from humans is that they don't know that they know. And it's hard, I don't know if you guys are understanding me, but an animal doesn't know that he knows his owner is home. He just knows, and he doesn't have that reasoning logic. He doesn't have that ability to be self-aware of himself. It's hard to explain. We know that we know. Like, I know that I'm currently making a video, and I know that I'm currently recording a video because I am aware. I have my reasoning, I have my logic, and because of that, I am able to step out of my natural instinct and make decisions from an objective perspective based on me. And that's how I command my life. I choose not to do things. I choose to do things. I choose not to follow certain paths. I choose to follow certain paths, so on and so forth. This is reasoning, and this has been argued in a philosophical sense as to the reason of existence. I think, therefore I am. In other words, we exist because we are aware that we exist. If we didn't think about these things, it just hinders in the point where we cease to exist because we're not aware of these things. Um, it's very deep and it's very branchy going into these topics, but I believe that a lot of it is based on the reasons why Grimm react the way they react and why they seek out certain things. Thinking back to Yang's story when she was searching for the clue for her mom, and she had Ruby in the back of the wagon, and they got to that abandoned barn looking building structure. Perhaps the Grimm attacked these innocent girls because maybe Yang was frustrated, she was tired, she was hurting, lonely, anxious, and all these other array of feelings that come with a child that has just endured such a long journey and hoping to look for something that she's been actively seeking. And perhaps the Grimm were attracted to these feelings, even though she's an innocent child. She may not have actively harbored any ill intent or any aggression, but maybe she was filled with other things, battling within herself as to why her mom left. It is possible that the Grimm are serving as some sort of natural equalizer to bad things in the world, and because of their vicious nature, people have grown to fear them, and that only makes things worse. I'm not exactly sure. These are my initial thoughts based on the things that I just saw and heard about the Grimm video. Questions that I have would be, will it be possible to reduce the attacks if one were to respect the Grimm or accept them and welcome them? Because they would naturally seek out the bad doers within a community. Um, During the video scene, thinking about it carefully, when the Grimm bird, I forgot the name of it, forgot the name of the bird. When the bird was feeding or eating the human, there was a wolf that attacked the bird first, even though there was no reason to. The wolf just was just protecting its territory, and it's rare for there to be confrontations between Grimm and animals because animals are not aware. They don't know that they know, but humans do. You do something wrong, you feel conscious about it, you have guilt about it, and these emotions that are flowing out of you are what attract Grimm. And it's possible that maybe everything has been lost and then everybody starts fearing them instead of welcoming them and allowing them to be the guardians of their world. Is it a far fetch? Maybe. But perhaps the world of Remnant is seen from a wrong perspective. Perhaps the creatures of Grimm are meant to weed out all the bad roots. But that's really hard to do because humans have free will. And even if you're a good guy that does good things, that always focuses on selfless sacrifice and helps others, Every now and then you might start thinking bad thoughts just because you have that power to think for yourself. And then these things will attract Grimm. If what I'm thinking is sustained by the things that I saw, just these emotions are enough to attract them. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and apparently above all, think no evil. And you don't have to fear the Grimm. You just live your life doing what you want. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. But based on all the information I just received, it's possible. I don't know. Um, so that's that. World of Remnant, Episode 3, Grimm. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support and sticking around during these hard times that I'm facing. And thank you. I mean it. I appreciate all you do. And I guess that's it. Until next time, I will see you in the next videos. And take care. Bye bye. Oh, and wait, really quick. uh, I liked how it was in the near the end, since you can't really salvage anything. People that are hunters for sport, like Professor Port, they show him getting disappointed when his prey goes away, and then he relives the tale by buying taxidermy and bombastic tales of his exploits. Ah, there I was, lost in the forest. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.